little, let me know. All right, so segmentation. So segmentation in marketing is mainly when we break down our marketing materials, our marketing target audience to a specific product, to a specific location. So for example, take Spotify. The ads Spotify send to we in Nigeria is different from what they send to people in the US, what they send to people in Asia, right? Why? Because the people's tastes are different based on their demographic location, geographic location, right? So here in Afrobeats, they show us maybe based on your interest, what songs have you been listening to in the past? So now during segmentation, they refer or show you those. That's segmentation. Segmentation is breaking down your audience into specific niches so that you can market to them specifically. So what are the key segments we have? We have is DJs. So DJs are basically the guys that trade the meme coins in the market. We have NFT collectors. So NFT, though it's not as big as it in 2020 and all, but then it's still a very usable protocol in the Web3 space. So we have NFT collectors. Third, we have developers. Developers are the heart of the whole Web3 ecosystem, right? We need them to build for us to have products to work on. Then we have DAO contributors. So if in the first class we're introduced to DAOs, so basically DAOs are the autonomous organizations where the idea of DAOs is like instead of one person making a decision and then maybe people voting and all that, to make it fair, a DAO system works this way. If out of 5 people, 3 people say, okay, class is going to host by 7 p.m., then automatically by 7 p.m. this class will start. By so audience we have is the KOLs and the and market speculators. So these are the key segments in the Web3 space you need to focus on, depending on the product you are marketing for. As you're marketing for each of these segments, specifically target DGens. Some are going to target NFT collectors. You need to just focus on DGens, developers, KOLs, and creators, right? Then a lot of people that offer things to Web3 newbies and always mainly free package because we are just trying to onboard more people. The more people we have in the Web3 space, the faster blockchains can build. So write this down. So the tools we mainly use when you are building your audience and when you want to study market trends, because the Web3 space is one niche where research is very, very important, right? You don't need to follow Web3 market taught you in your first class. It's quite different from the Web3 space. So you need to learn what's working. You need to learn what are your competitors doing, what is going on in the space this week, what's going on today, because this information is very, very key depending on whatever projects you're going to be marketing for. So what are the tools you're going to be using? The first tool is Dune Analytics, Dune Analytics. So first tool is Dune Analytics. Second is X, Twitter. We have Telegram, we have Discord, we have Zappa or Zerion. So these are the main tools we use for Web3 marketing. And then it's actually good compared to Web2. Depending on your service in the Web2 space, you need to be active on a lot of places. You need to be active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You need to be active on WhatsApp. You need to be active on Slack, wherever people are congregating, right? But now in the Web3 space, everything is narrow. The only social media that most people in the Web3 space use is X. And right now, starting from mid last year, I think TikTok has started gaining the audience in the Web3 space. So it's also worth looking into, but it's not quite mainstream yet. But then there's no harm done in learning whatever you can. So the Web2 space, we mainly use X. We use X for basically social needs based on building that community, talking about your production, product updates, just building that news, building that relevance, building a following on social media. So all that happens on X. If you are marketing for any Web3 projects, forget Facebook, forget Instagram, forget LinkedIn. Nobody cares about those places in the Web3 space. So just focus on X. And then when it comes to finding market data, that is, you want to know what's going on with each blockchain, what token is pumping, what's going on in the space. So we use Dune Analytics. There's also Zappa. just to find out whatever is going on chain. Is the market going up again? Are we in a bull run? Are we in a bear market? So whatever you want to find out on chain, you use Zappa or Zerion for that purpose. Into community driven growth. So why does the Web3 space work very well based on communities? So the first reason is that brands can wake up one morning and just make a decision on their own, right? And then there's nothing we can do about it. The whole idea of Web3 is decentralization. So it's taking away the rulers. And so instead of Mark Zuckerberg waking up in the morning and like, we don't want Nigerian market again. So everyone in Nigerian market is off Facebook. So they just ban us from the platform. That's what happens in the Web2 space. But now in the Web3 space, because they have taken away these rulers and brought in a set of rules, the community is actually the people that run the project. So at the end of the day, you need that community. So you don't have you can, but then mm, there's nothing that stops people from leaving your project and going to another. The Web3 space, as I've said, though it can do a lot of things, but we are not using the blockchain technology for most of the things it can be used for based on the regulatory restrictions that we have right now. But then for the ones we are building, definitely a lot of people are building the same thing. How many Web3 wallets do you know? You know Coinbase, MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Nest Wallet, Penny Wallet. So there are hundreds of wallets out there, which means if any wallet is messing up, there's always a backup. There's always someone doing it better than you. So most people are always doing it based on what the community wants. The second reason is the whole viral loops. So if you don't reward your community, there won't be that widespread adoption. If you notice on places like X, where people write threads, people are always talking, shilling all these blockchains, shilling projects as if it is their own, right? So that all happens because they own a piece of that protocol, they own a piece of that narrative. So you giving people tokens by interacting, um, learning to earn, share to earn, refer to mint. So all these kinds of viral loops, all these growth hacks that people put in their products in the Web3 space is why the community is very, very important. The community pushes your product, right? So in the Web3 space, your product is as good as the people. So if you want to build your products, build the people. All right. So what are the tactics that you can use for community growth? So the first one is authentic storytelling. I don't have a big issue with Web3 marketing, mainly because a lot of people that build in the Web3 space, they have never had any real world experience with marketing. Most of them are developers, right? So all they have is this love for their product, but they don't have any marketing knowledge. They don't have that background. So what happens, or what you notice most time in the Web3 space, is that marketers are undervalued, they are underrated, underpaid, and also at the same time they expect you to just do magic without them understanding how this thing really works. You go through most projects timeline. First of all, most of them are using botted engagements. They buy followers. You're seeing a project that launched this week, they're already at like 20,000 followers. Obviously they bought those followers because if you check their engagement, is the number of followers is not matching the number of engagements. You go through their whole page, most of the posts they are talking about is just them selling features and forgetting that people only love the benefits. So in the whole Web3 space, a lot of products, a lot of protocols are getting this wrong. So we need more marketers to be able to convey this information. We need us to be loud as the KOLs and the creators in this space. So how do you do that? By marketing through authentic storytelling. Whatever you are building this space, what is important is what we call a narrative. So narrative is basically what is the idea behind this project? What is the idea behind what you are building? Why should we be bullish on this product, right? Why should we talk about it? Why should we make a post about this? Why should we even care about signing up and then just using your protocol, right? So that is the narrative. Your narrative must be good enough. How do you make your narrative good enough? It all comes down to authentic storytelling. So learn how to craft compelling stories. So hero's journey, there are different ways we tell stories using marketing. So most people always confuse when people say use storytelling in marketing, in crafting your content and all this. So it does not necessarily mean you telling a story. It's about you taking people through a journey that gets them to feel something so that they can make an action or a defined decision. because contrary to what we say, we always make a decision based on our emotions and then justify it with logic. So I think that was made a statement made by Seth Godin, the godfather of marketing. So always get people to feel something. After they feel something, it's easier for them to make a decision that way. And how best do you get people to feel anything through storytelling? Now that storytelling, as I've said, does not mean telling them a story. It means you just conveying the information, the idea behind your narrative in a good enough way that'll get someone to say, okay, shut up and take my money, or just keep quiet and show me where to sign up and order, right? All right. So what's the second tactic you can use when marketing your community? So we have leaderboards, we have quests, we have token rewards. So token rewards is the main way communities are being built in the Web3 space. So you have heard words like TGE, there's token generation events. So all these are ways where projects just do something to incentivize the community and get people to join. So yeah, there are companies or protocols out there that people willingly want to join your community because of maybe the caliber of people that are also in that community. But most times when you're starting projects, when you're starting protocol, you need to incentivize the market, you need to incentivize the community. So mainly that comes through TGE just to get people to join. It can be shared to earn, it can be referred to means and all these things. So you need to give them something for them to be active members of your community. All right. Um, Finally, we have IRL events and then Twitter Spaces. So in the Web3 space, if you're in Akwa Ibom State right here, almost every month we have like 4 Web3 events per month here in Akwa Ibom State, and most of that is because Akwa Ibom had this narrative of people being lax, people being too relaxed. So the new generation is like this hot-headed set of people, and Web3 just totally took Akwa Ibom State, right? So almost every week there's a Web3 event going on in the state, and it has caused this onboarding session where a lot of people are now familiar with maybe a particular blockchain, and then they are so bullish and building on that blockchain. If you're already a core Web3 native, then you're familiar with Super Team. So Super Team is the biggest community in the whole Web3 space, backed by Solana. And what are they doing differently? The whole super team and system where people can join bounties, find jobs, and order is one of the biggest innovations in this whole Web3 space. Now, because Solana is like one of the biggest blockchains here in Nigeria, Akwa Ibom itself is totally covered by Solana. Then we have a few people bullish on Base, we have a few people bullish on other blockchains, but mainly Solana has taken over Akwa Ibom State, Solana has taken over Lagos, Solana has taken over Abuja. So all this happened because of IRL events. So if you're running marketing for any project, host events. The more people that benefit from something you are giving to them, the more people are going to be bullish on whatever you are building. So it all boils down to a marketing trend we know as the law of reciprocity. It's a law that governs us even in our personal lives. Take for example a time when someone gave you something on you felt that desire to give them something back, right? Note I said desire does not mean you necessarily do it, but then there's always that heightened back. So that's the same thing that happens in the Web3 space. By you hosting these IRL events, what happens is that these people feel a something back. So that can be by joining your community, that can be by using your product or whatever it can be. And then same thing with Twitter Spaces. So Twitter Spaces just gives you more advantage to cover more grounds. For example, you are running marketing for a project in the US San Francisco area also, and you want to reach a Nigerian audience. Obviously, let's say you don't have the budgets to travel down to host events and all that. The easiest way to go about it is by hosting a Twitter space, which happens every minute in this in sorry, which happens every minute on Twitter, right? So Twitter Spaces, IRL events are the third way for you to build an authentic community in the Web3 space. So successful projects you can look at is Base. So what has Base done? Base hosted the buildathon last year, and that totally got the African market. Like 41% of Africa is already bullish on Base, all because of that competition. So a lot of projects, a lot of people were compensated for building on the Base ecosystem and all that. So remember what I said about compensating the community. So this has built that loyal fan base. over the past few months, Solana has already also made move. Solana hosted the startup village at Lagos a few weeks ago. Innovate 25 just finished a few weeks ago as well, and there was the IBS, though IBS did not particularly involve any major blockchain, but things like this have shown us that this is what works in this space. All right, so let's head over to Web3 user behavior. Where do they hang out? So I've mentioned that for you to find the Web3 users, it's not quite difficult like in Web2, where you need to be active on a lot of places to get your information across. In the Web3 space, you basically need to focus on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, and there's Webcast, there's Farcast, and the rest. But to be honest, not a lot of people are active on those Farcast and Webcast. But then if you focus on Twitter, focus on Telegram and Discord, then you are good to go. But then note something, because you know where they are, means you need to use what tools or yeah, you need to use what tools are specific or usable in each of those platforms. Telegram and Discord are both good for community management, but then on both of them just because you need to be. Now, if Telegram gets the job done, you don't need to have another community on Discord. Discord communities, in my experience, mainly work for developers, developer communities, and all those. But if you are building a project where you don't particularly need the community for it to run. For example, you are running a wallet, something like Nest Wallet, and also your product is good enough to bring people. Then Telegram is particularly good enough for you to host your community, just handle problems there and all whatnot. Then finally Twitter. So as we all know, Twitter is where projects mainly post about their updates. They post about upcoming TGEs, post about new features they are launching, host spaces and all that. So Web3 marketing, though it's easy, you need to be able to convince your stakeholders that you need budgets to get a lot of things done. So to repeat that, Twitter, Telegram, Discord, then optional, you can use Farcaster and Webcast. So what are the behavior traits you mainly see people in this space portray? One is the meme native. So meme native are mainly people who are bullish on meme coins. So whatever is trending, what for example, Trump, after the Trump token was launched, you know how many people were talking about that, how many people were looking for the next narrative that was going to pump and make them big bucks. So things like that are some of the behaviors you notice in this space. So find a way to leverage on that using what we call market psychology. So leverage on people's narrative. What is that thing that is moving them? What's that behavior that is going to get them online to them and give it to them? For example, how do you use meme native and behavior to channel your marketing? Write a blog post. So blog post is one of those SEO tactics that brings people organically instead of you to run ads. How many ads do you see people running in the Web3 space? Almost none. So one of the differences between Web2 and Web3 marketing is ads. Most people don't even run ads here in the Web3 space because we know where our target audience is and we don't waste money on marketing tactics that covers a lot of people. That's what we call unqualified leads in marketing. So unqualified leads are people that see your marketing material but are not your target audience. For example, imagine if you are a newbie now in the Web3 space, you got a marketing gig based on what you know in the Web2 space, first thing you're going to do is run ads on Instagram and Facebook, right? Definitely, if you target your demographic right and all those things, you are going to get views, you're going to get clicks. But then are they qualified leads? No. Why? Because most of these people have not been onboarded into Web3 space. So you need to first of all teach them what your technology is, what problem you're solving, and all that. So at the end of the day, the cost per acquisition of each customer is going to be higher because now you need to invest in knowledge for them to be able to use your product. But instead, if you focus your marketing on platforms like X, where you already know your, and that way you are getting what we call qualified leads. These are people that already know the problem you're solving, and then they were already considering a solution in the market look out for in marketing. Then we also have the alpha seeking and behavior traits. So alpha seekers are those people that just come online, for, checking their favorite creators, their favorite KOLs. What's the new alpha? What's the new meme coin that's pumping in the market? should I sell or should I buy Solana? Should I buy what's meme coin or what token? What coin am I going to buy today? What am I selling today? So alpha seekers are out there. Again, use your blog post to target these people. Write a blog post on maybe top 5 tokens that are speculated to perform well this week. But then again, be careful to back your information based on data, and then also have a disclaimer that this is not financial advice, because trust me, people are crazy in this space. So target the alpha seekers, focus your marketing, see how you can use these behavioral traits. Another behavior trait we have had is suspicious hype lookers. So these are people that are always like very skeptical of whatever is trending in market. There are people that though they heard about Trump when what's Trump's wife name? Is it Melinda or something? So when she launched her own token the next day, those suspicious people that were like, is this really going to cook, or is this going to be another pump and dump in the market? So these are behavioral traits you need to look out for, and then use them in each of your marketing tactics. Depending on the products you are selling in this space, is it a Web3 wallet? Is it a DAO protocol? Is it a meme coin projects you are working for? So find a way to understand what is the general sentiment of the market today, what happened in this space that people are talking about. Use that to channel your next day's marketing tactics on social media. So your post after a major pump and dump in the market, so your next post can just be about your own product, how it is going to be different, and what you are building, and why it is sustainable. All that can be possible by trying to understand user behavior. Now, what drives engagement in the Web3 space? Value, opportunity, community, and humor. Web2 is one of those spaces where you can go away with being technical without humor, and then people will not even mind. I mean, how many people even follow project accounts or company accounts in Web2? How many of you are following Coca-Cola? How many of you are following Facebook? How many of you are following Instagram, right? Most of you are not even doing that. But in the Web2 space is different. We actively look for these projects so that we can follow them and join their conversations. But now imagine if you join the project and one, their community, nothing is going on in their community. They are not posting any opportunities you can leverage on, and they don't even post anything that has value. You are going to leave, right? So as a marketer, it is in your place to make sure that one, your Web3, whatever Web3 brand you're marketing for, has humor around it. Trust me, the Web3 space, most of your demographic are retards. By retards, I don't mean they don't know things or they don't know book, and all. They're just like crazy people, right? These are people that they left a full-time work to come and be working in a space where everything is based on speculation. So they need humor, right? This space is not that space where you need to be too serious and all that every time. They need humor. To community, offer something to your community. It can be referred to means, it can be learn to earn, whatever you want to offer to your community. Just make sure that you keep them engaged. Make sure that you give them something for them to bring in people and also stay in your community after whatever you have done. Most people after TGE, they leave their community, right? Because maybe they feel there's nothing to be gained. So at the end of the day, make sure that you're not just creating a community to launch your TGE. After your TGE, you should also engage them, keep them there long enough so that they can be super fans. If you have a super fan of your project, trust me, you don't even need to spend the dime on marketing again. One of the things you need to invest in is developing your community to the level where you have what we call the 1,000 super fans. Anything you are building is like outside Web2, I mean outside Web3, even in the Web2 space. Let's say you have a social media page, let's say you have a YouTube page. If you can build an audience of 1,000 super fans, people that if you made a post to them and we're like you're launching a book and you're selling this for $5, every of them all of them will buy it. Now imagine if 1,000 people got your book for $5 each. So you see how having just 1,000 loyal fans can change your life. That is the exact same thing that can happen in the Web3 space. So if you can build a community of at even the least 1,000 people who will do whatever this project is telling them to do, who will go beyond and above what this community is asking of them, you already have a marketing tool that would never cost a dime, right? Apart from you just incentivizing them. All right, so that's it for how to drive engagement. Web3 space is not too difficult, it's not too technical. One, just know that you are not supposed to be boring. Just know that you are supposed to engage these people. Make sure that there's something to kick them out of this short attention span. Hook them, make your product good enough that it sells itself. So the idea is not for you to, there's this um what's the word I'm looking for? There's this quote. So it's not about you creating 20 pieces of content to sell on X or TikTok and then getting like 2 sales. It's about you making your product good enough for people to want to put on X and TikTok. So that's just the idea. All right, staying ahead of the trends. One, follow narratives on X account. So trends basically in the Web3 space are market sentiment. So right now we are in the bear market, right? Because if you don't understand what people always mean when they say bear and bull market, so have Bitcoin have has what we call halving. So halving is them just burning a certain percentage of their tokens after every 4 years. So after every 4 years, when they burn a few percent of their tokens or coin, what happens is what we call the bull market or the bear market. So let's say in a few months' time, we are going to be back on the bull market, but right now we are in the bear market because everything is so down. Solana has already hit an all-time low. Ethereum has not gone up in months, and all that. Bitcoin is still standing strong, surprisingly. So you need to follow trends. And I've mentioned the tools you can use. So you can use Dune Analytics to follow trends in the Web3 market. You can use sites like Token Terminal, DeFi Llama, CoinGecko, just to see what's trending, see what's happening on the space so that you know where to come in, know what to use for marketing for whatever projects you're looking for. Listen to weekly spaces, join other community spaces and listen. What are they talking about? What's trending? So AI is one of the biggest things in the Web3 space right now. Every project is integrating AI, creating zero knowledge proofs, creating basically a lot of new innovations in the Web3 space. So AI is trending. So ask yourself, is this something we need to look into? Is this something we need to incorporate into our own projects moving forward? If need be, you can do it, then go ahead. If it is not necessary for your project, you can let it go. Also, analyze on-chain data. First of all, you want to analyze both your data and then on-chain data to analyze trends. So again, Dune Analytics is basically the best analytics tool in the Web3 space to get whatever data you're looking for, but also analyze your own data. What is the churn rate? How many people stay in your community monthly? How many people leave? What's the percent of people that leave monthly? What's your overall engagement on social media? What's the number of engagements you got this month compared to last month, number of comments, likes, bookmarks, and all those things. So you need to track analytics. Why? Through analytics, you can make informed decisions. If a lot of people are leaving your community than more people are coming in, then you know you have a retention problem. So your issue is not bringing people in. If people are still coming in, but more people are leaving, then your problem is not bringing people in. You have a retention problem. So using community marketing, what you need to do is find a way to incentivize the community or bring up a task system where they can be more active in the space to know that you are still pushing forward. All right. So before we go on, I would like to get other people's feedback. Let me know what part of this class don't you get. So let me just explain before we go on. I'll give you a practical task and then questions after that, and then yeah, we call it a night. So let me get other people's feedback. Tell me what is something I've said today that was new to you that you need more clarity on. Hello, are you guys there? Hello, can someone hear me?
Yes.
All right. So based on today's class, what's something I've mentioned that was either new to you or something you need more light to be shedded on? Does anyone want to go or do we move forward?
Personally, I got everything.
even though my network was tripping, but I understood a bit of everything that was said.
Me too.
All right. Okay, that's great. Okay. So I guess everyone has gotten what we have shared so far. So one, as a Web3 marketer, I want you to know that you can also build something in this space. You don't need to particularly need to work for someone. I am a marketer and currently building Etral. So Etral is like a social media management tool, a jobber board, and then a course hosting site for Web3 users and all that. So I don't have any developer skills. I don't have any design skills. Okay, I do have design, but I'm not the one designing my UI and all that. So what you can do is start building something for yourself. If you have been in this space for at least 6 months, you don't need to know everything about Web3 or blockchain technology to build something. So use your marketing skills, bring in a group of people, find a problem to solve in this space. You can handle marketing for your projects. You bring in a co-founder to handle development, bring in a co-founder to manage UI. So like I said, the Web3 ecosystem, the blockchain technology is way stronger than what we are using it for. So you can look into building your own real world asset token. You can look into building your own AI or even a meme coin project you want to start with. So anything you want to build, just get yourself started with something, build that experience. I'll tell you now, it's actually very difficult to get your hands on a Web3 marketing gig if you don't have a long duration of experience in the Web3 space. So, first of all, you have to start by doing something for yourself to get attention. And as I always preach, personal branding is the way forward. I mean, we have all sent out cold DMs, we have sent out cold emails, we have done cold calling, we have sent our CVs to a lot of people. And I think we can both agree or all agree that building a personal brand is most important. So, as a marketer, the first place to market is yourself. So take your X account very serious. What are you posting? It's not your X account as a Web3 native focusing on marketing. It's not that space where you talk about football and talk about all your interests, all your hobbies, and all that, right? If you want, you can create a dummy account basically for that. But then, as a Web3 professional, someone that is looking to attract leads based on their personal brand, then your account must be your portfolio. Let your post speak knowledge. Let people go through your profile and then they are moved. Let people go through your profile and then say, I need this person on my team. Most of the people I've worked with, my mentors, all of them, I think the best way or the most recommended way they have gotten their gigs is one based on referral. And where did that referral come from? People that were following their engagement. So my boss, Ayame Tefia, is a third-time founder. He was former ex-lead marketing for Nest Wallet. How did he get that job? Basically through referrals. He has always been helping um, projects overseas, market in Africa, and that was his first international gig. So at the end of the day, your personal brand is the best way for you to grow in the Web3 space. It's not even if you are a marketer, even if you're a developer, whatever you are in this space, building a personal brand is one of the only ways you can get a job. Sending CVs and all that in Web3 space is almost useless. Nobody cares about your CV and all that. The only thing we care about in the Web3 space is what we call proof of work. So for someone that doesn't have that job first to get your portfolio, and you don't have a portfolio because you don't have a job, the best place for you to start marketing is by marketing yourself. So build a personal brand, learn how to make posts, learn different things basically. Web3 marketing is beyond community. So learn social media marketing, learn email marketing, learn content marketing, learn inbound marketing. I will share a I don't know if I'll still have time to create the full document and send in, but if you're with your writing material, so the site where you can get started by learning each specific Web3 skill you need, that's inbound marketing, email, SEO marketing, and all the necessary skills. So visit hubspotacademy.com. So hubspotacademy.com gives you free marketing courses, free developer courses to get you started with. It's just good for you to learn how these things are done. Yeah, you can just be reading blog posts. You can join the Web3 space, join spaces and all that, listen to other people speak. But that is not enough to be able to deliver results for people. You need to learn more, read more books. You need to learn more by taking a lot of courses. Personally, on my own, I have, as I've mentioned, I have about 7 marketing certifications. I've read a lot of books, and all these things together have helped me to move fast in my career. So, best place to start is by marketing yourself, and you can't market yourself if you don't know what to talk about to position yourself as an authority. So, one important thing you need to start with: educate yourself, upskill, learn more marketing skills. Because in this Web3 space, there's no margin for error. Most projects don't survive past a year. So most of them are pump and dumps. They just want to be in the market. But once they achieve whatever they are doing, they ghost the community. So let's just say you are working for one of those projects. It means they need you to deliver results in the shortest amount of time. This is not Web2 space where you can tell them, okay, to take at least 6 months for results to start getting in it, to take at least a year for this campaign to perform well. Or in the Web3 space, it may be too late, right? Because everybody has a, I don't want to say everyone has a short attention span, but people have a very, very low tolerance for boring narratives. So you need to move very, very fast in this space, and you can only do that if you know how to move fast. So upskill, learn more skills, read more books, take more courses, join more spaces, follow the right people, see how they are doing it, join communities. There are marketing communities. Find a way to join Safari Club, though it is very, very difficult. The acceptance rate is like 8%. So just find a way to join marketing community so that you learn what is trending in the Web3 marketing space. You learn how to find jobs. You learn how to position yourself properly to get results. All right. So I will send in your practical assignments to the project manager or the community manager. So yeah, does anyone have any questions?
No, I'm good.
All right. Is
So
the
can you
okay? Go
like,
ahead.
sorry, please can you like call the name of the site again? I did not get the name of the site.
HubSpot Academy.
Oh,
HUBSPOT Academy.com.
oh, okay, thank you.
All right. Is the community manager here? Hold on. I'm trying to get in reach with your community manager. In case she has anything to say before I call it a day. All right. While we wait for her, I'd like to hear from everyone. Vincent, Victoria, Abdullahi, Kashmir, Amdad, and all. So I'd like to know. Tell me about your Web3 experience. How long have you guys been in this space? And have you really settled down on Web3 marketing as your niche? Oh, Vincent, can I start with you?
I unmute myself already. Can I talk?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening. It's like this is the first time I'm joining this space, and I've been on the group since like last week. So for this last week, I was so very busy, so I couldn't join the meeting. So this is actually the first time. So I'm still like jotting some things down and everything like that. So everything is just still new to me, though. Everything is still new to me. So that's it.
All right. So if I know a lot of things I've said here, first of all, are alien to you right now if you're still new in this space. But then there's
Yes.
always that learning curve. There's always going to be that learning curve. So the more you know, the more it feels like you don't know anything. It's normal, happens to the best of us. But then, as I've said, I've only been in this space for barely a year. But then when people see the work I've done in this space, they are always like, "Are you sure you just started a year ago?" So yeah, it does not take too long for you to start learning. Just join spaces, follow the right accounts, and then start doing your own personal research. So if I said right now is if you are under 3 months, right now it's not even the time for you to be looking for jobs. Just find a way to lessen your knowledge gap. So find a way to learn more, find a way to know more. All right. Let me get from another person.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Um, sorry. I've I've been in Web3 for a very long time, like doing airdrops, the gen, blah blah blah, and I don't really know much about Web3 marketing, so that was why I joined because I've been seeing a lot of Web3 stuff, Web3 marketing stuff on my Twitter page and all. So yeah,
All right. So if seems you have already been in this space for a while and then you're already experiencing Web3, and that's good. Why I said experience is because most people, when if you're already in this space, one thing most people ask you when you start posting things in the Web3 space is teach me Web3. But
yeah,
now Web3 is not a skill where you teach someone. You only experience Web3. You can't teach someone Web3. So as far as you have traded in the market before, you have made a transaction, you are trading meme coins, you have swapped and done all those things. So you're already a Web3 native because that's basically what Web3 is about. You just need to experience Web3. You can't teach it. So yeah, marketing is easier. All these ones I'm teaching you is if you want to take it very, very seriously, because I know people that are making a lot of money in this space and they don't know half of what I've just shared in this space today. The only thing they have that qualifies them as a Web3 marketer is a large following. So, like I said, in this Web3 space, I am only technical or sharing this much information because I came into the Web3 space with a lot of Web2 marketing experience. I worked at a lot of brands. My boss, the person I was working under, worked at MTN, worked at Facebook, and the rest. So we had a lot of Web2 marketing experience. So we are technical. In the Web3 space, it's not this technical. A lot of people don't know the things I share. Projects don't even do it because most of them have not taken courses. They never experienced marketing. All they did is develop a product. So what's the best way for them to market that product? Influencer marketing. So they just find KOLs, find creators with a lot of followers, and then tell them write a blog post, make a video, and all these things. So basically, being a Web3 marketer is not difficult. Just build your personal brand, build your followers, and jobs will flow in. That's the first part. But then, if you want to be the kind of person that does not just get jobs and then gets paid, but get jobs, deliver results, and get paid, then you need to learn these other boring things. You need to learn email marketing, SEO, content marketing, inbound marketing, and the rest. So it's not a prerequisite. If you just have followers and know the basics, you can make money as a marketer. But then, if you want to be the kind of person that after you have done the job, that project refers you to another project, then you need to learn these other things.
okay, thank you.
All right. Does any other person want to go? All right. I've still gotten a text from your community manager, but then I guess there are no questions, and I hope you have gotten value from today's class. So my user on Twitter or X is Hector Chris. So you can just search Hector Chris. It should be with a PFP. It should be the only Hector Chris with a PFP. It's a dark background with a PFP. So yeah, my X is Hector Chris. My every other social media platform is still Hector Chris. My YouTube is also Hector Chris. So if you want to connect, if you want to learn more on my X account, I do post marketing trends. I do post ways for you to grow in the Web3 space. I share a lot of marketing tips and tricks on my page on X in the morning and in the evening. So yeah, um, ready to onboard anyone. My DMs are always open. All right, your community manager will be joining shortly, but then this will be the end of today's class. So, final time, does anyone have any questions?
The Hector Chris, like, is it Hector Chris 4? But I'm saying so many top Chris here.
Yeah, Hector Chris 4. That's
Okay,
the at username.
okay. I just followed now.
All right, you can send a DM if you want to continue the conversation.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Hello, good evening, sir.
All right. Good evening.
Okay. Thank you so much for the class. I really understood a lot about Web3 marketing, mostly about building your personal brand, right? But then I don't know if you can be more much. I really didn't get this part where building a personal brand. Can you be able to be much more specific on what type of value, like an example of value around your brand that you want to display out on Twitter and all that. Maybe the things that if you're talking at your ex, the things you begin to post about to, give your brand a unique, feel or unique identity in this space.
All right. So, okay, someone says I should type out the username. All right, hold on. So, yeah, to answer your question, the specific things you can do to build your brand. So, first of all, we know what we call niche. So, niche is your specific area of interest in a general market. For example, you're a medical student. You don't just say, I am a doctor, I am an orthopedic doctor, a neurosurgeon, or whatever. So, that is their niche. They have picked out a particular piece out of their field, and now they are specialists at that one thing. But now there's an extra step we had to develop in 2024. So when we have general market, we have a niche. So the next step is what we call a UVZ, unique value zone. So for example, your general market is fitness. Your niche is going to be fitness for women. Now, if you want to pick your unique value zone, it will be fitness for postpartum mothers. So you see how you are niching down within a niche. So what that does for you is that because you have niched down within a niche, you are now breaking down the market and then reducing the amount of competitors that you have. So, for example, how do I put it? Um, in your niche, right? The idea of having a niche is that you don't want to compete with everybody. Now, doctors are not competing, orthopedic doctors are not competing with neurosurgeons. They have their market, right? They have their patients that they work on. So that reduces the competition in the market. But now, if you niche down again within your niche, you're also cutting another set of competitors out of the market. So now, in the Web3 space, you need to, if as a marketer, what projects do you want to market for? Are you focusing on DAOs as your unique value zone? Are you focusing on wallets? Are you focusing on meme coin projects? So if you can narrow yourself down and then make your post specific to what you're offering. So let's say you are a professional at market speculations, you're a professional at marketing um, meme coin projects, just pump and dump projects, right? Then you need to make a lot of posts about them. Talk about meme coins that are trending this week, the ones that are crashing, what they could have done better. So by branding yourself that way, you're setting yourself up for success so that people that come to your page or projects that are checking you out, they're like, okay, this person seems like someone that can help us to achieve X goal. So personal branding is all about what are you offering and then how do you want to communicate what you are offering by teaching other people. So that's the whole idea of inbound and content marketing. So when we say build a personal brand, it basically means teach people what you know good enough that people will think you have the solution to the problem. So in marketing, there's something we say, if you can explain the problem better than people who have the problem, they automatically assume you have the solution. So by building a personal brand, what you are doing is teaching people or talking about what you do so much that people feel like you know the answer to all the problems they want to solve. So building a personal brand is simple. What is the problem you're solving in the market? Talk about it enough, teach people how to do what you do, and the market will reward you for that. Hope that answers your question. All right. I think that in the absence of more questions, your community manager is here.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Heck, for that session, giving them the assignment, please, the practical task. Okay, okay.
So I'll send that to you to drop on the community group chat.
Okay, okay, no problem. All right. So last week, like we said before the call started, we spoke on introduction to Web3 marketing, and at least I heard when he said that just like being a medical doctor, there are niches, right? So I am sure that from this session, you've been able to understand, understand the market trends and how to navigate your way around it. Please, if you have any questions, you feel free to reach out to Hector on X, right? I'm sure he also dropped his username. You can also reach out to us. Um, the Telegram community, WhatsApp channel is available for communication. Yeah, please, you can drop your messages there if you need any assistance with regard to the bootcamp. And please do well to um, do your assignments. If you missed any part of the class, you can always listen to the recording. It's going to help so much, and also relate with people that are also on this call. Make friends. Kasma, Amdad, Abdullahi, Chinedu, Christopher, Blessed, Hassan. Make friends with people on the call. You can, you can get to share notes and all of that. I, in the absence of any question, like we said, you can reach out to the speaker and also reach out to us. Please, we urge you to take this bootcamp very seriously. And we're going to have this Web3 marketing class next week, Monday, right? Somebody else will be taking you on another interesting topic. Yes. So, without further ado, uh, yeah. So, we'll send your assignments over to the community chat. Thank you very much, Mr. Hector. Thank you for okay, yeah. Thank you for joining the call. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you for speaking on this topic and throwing light on everything you know. It means a whole lot to us. Uh, Please, I would love us to give a shout out to our speaker. You could give a thumbs up, you could react with an emoji, give him some claps. It's not easy to come and be speaking. I mean, right? Thank you. I see it. I see it. Thank you. So yeah, everybody says we're grateful. And to you who joined, Chinedu, Kasmer, Abdullahi, Blessing, Amdad, Hassan, yeah, and me personally, yeah, and our boss, Mrs. Victoria. Oh, Chinedu, please speak. Or meet yourself and speak. Thank you.
No, sorry, that was a mistake.
Alright, it's fine. So yes, so this class comes to an end. Thank you everybody for joining, and we hope to see you in our next class. Sorry, my voice is falling a bit quite under the weather. Right. So hope to see you next week Monday. Stay blessed. Bye. Abdullah. All right. Sorry about that. Thank you. Bye, everybody.